Thank you. So, Demon, you sent me over a base. I'm just gonna do like the head. So you want his eyes looking this way, like up this way. When you're drawing, you have these lines. You see these lines. So this line typically separates the face down the middle. So this is your point of reference for where the middle of the face is. Now it could be over here. The further over this line is, the more tilted or turned the head is. So let me just show it over this. So right now you've kind of got a position that's like this. Mind you, I can't really get the hand, but you've got a position that's kind of like this with just the basic. You kind of want it to be like this. And you can kind of get the same shape based on where you put that line. You can also get the same direction. I'm not explaining well. Based on where you put the line, because that's where you're going to work on your eyes. Now you have this line, which is typically around the center, between a little bit, sometimes either in the middle of the ears. I drew this here a little low. You can also do two more lines like this. This will be typically where your nose will fall, or the top of the nose will fall. So you could do, depending on whatever kind of nose you want. This is your guide for your eyes. Your eyes fall between your ear shape. Now, I don't know what kind of eye shape he has. You said he's kind of cocky, I think, but kind at the same time, like smirky. So he's kind of playful, but still nice. So he would have probably wider eyes, like Deku, like shaped. Because when you have more angled eyes, like let's say we could draw like Hawks' eyes here, right? You have more angled eyes. Typically lends to a more serious look. You can have kind of like, even like Shoto's eye shape is very similar to Hawks' eyes, and the fact that it's very flat on top. But it's very flat on top. So like, if you take a look at a lot more serious characters, they're going to have eyes that are a little bit more flatter on the top, rather say. They're going to be either more angular or flatter. Like even with Aizawa's eyes, like his eyes are more flat and a little bit more droopy. You can even add in the lines to make him look a little bit more tired, that kind of thing. Now when you have a character that's more kind of preppy, or even more young or youthful eyes typically are more rounded, or more preppy eyes would be, or kind, or energetic, would be more open, a bit larger, like Deku's eyes, or like Ochako's eyes, which are pretty much the same, but with an eyelash. But hers kind of go out a little bit, They don't quite fall as far in the back. A lot more feminine eyes are typically a lot more rounded. Yeah. But if you want him to be like, you can do kind of like the Hawk's eyes, but you can work on rounding the bottom out. And when you round out the bottom a bit more, the eyes become a bit more open and a bit softer, and you make things more round. See, so it's kind of the same shape. Like you could even do that, like just to give it an example of like how it looks. I know it's not the same, but same character, the same character here, different expression. So you can do a very open eye, and you follow along with that line. And then you want to think about how big it is in between the eyes. Typically, you want enough space for the nose. And you can even draw little guidelines like that. It's the same thing if you're doing it digitally, though. Same concept. Now, sometimes the outer eye, like this would be like the inner eye because it's closer, like there's less space on this side of the head because it's slightly turned. It's not the best, but I kind of get the gist. And I don't, whenever I draw the iris part, I don't draw it like that. Like if you notice, like sometimes I will have it. Okay, I'll show you guys. Let me do another eye. So we have an eye right here. Where you position this part, if you do it like in the middle, and then you do this in the middle, they're gonna have a more shocked expression. You have an eye right here. Let's say you put it up and you put it like kind of high. It's kind of a more focused. So like this way, you have the colored part, whatever it's called, in the upper little quadrant right here. You have the iris pushed up even farther on the inner corners. You see? And then a good part also, this guideline, there's one right in the middle that falls between the ears, in the middle of the ears, right? The nose, the tip of the nose falls at the top, at the bottom of the ears, over here. The top of the eyes, this is going to be where the eyebrows and like the creases are. That's a little bit higher. I like to put, for me personally, I like to put the eyes right in between, a little bit, you know, depending on how big I want to draw them, right in between where the ears are. And then with the nose, depending on how big I draw the nose, is how big the space in between is going to be. And then after I draw the eyes, it's also important to draw this part. Like, not every character has folded eyelids. This is, you know, for folded eyelids. But it does help when you're learning to give expression. So you could have one that's really big. The angle of it depends on where it's shocked. Like if it's tiny, the eye looks a little bit more closed off. The bigger it is, the eye is like more expressive, like more shocked. Or like even like this was a little bit higher up and a little bit more curved. It's a bit more softer looking, so it helps to have a softer kind of feel. And then on top of that, just right above that is where I typically put the eyebrows. You can even put in a chin if you want a chin, bottom lip, or even if he has a smile, you can do kind of just draw in a thicker line at the bottom for teeth to make him have like an open smile. And now do keep in mind, I am also, because this is Demon asking, I am keeping in mind on their style and drawing how they kind of draw their characters. So as you see, it's not like typically how I draw my characters, but I see this is how kind of seeing them. And you can also give the impression that they have eyelashes by drawing, you know, corners of the eyes just a little bit thicker. So, and with that, they're kind of, you know, they kind of have like a little bit of a more personality, bit of like, there's a bit more movement, so their eyes are looking in this direction. So it's a little, it's not quite at the person, but it's kind of slightly away. Then you can go in with the ears and add detail. You can add in a little detail with the neck. Mind you, remember, if you're drawing shoulders, where the shoulders start is typically where the collarbone connects to. And because they're beautiful and bald, you can even, you know, emphasize the little shadows on the nose. Hey, maybe they're tired. If they're tired, you know, you can even make them look a little worn out, giving them little eye bags. It really, like, this is just a really good base way to start, but it really does help to have those reference lines. So let me do something really quick. that you can take the same base and you can change up the direction too. And I always put a little bit of a curve to it because the face isn't just flat. It's not just straight down. That would be for looking straight at this. And then I'm going to put the middle line, connecting the middle, the bottom, and the top. And this way, see, now it's kind of reversed. This side is going to be the shorter side, and this side is going to be slightly longer. But it does help, like I said, it does help to draw in the nose, because then you can draw how thick the nose is to block out, and you don't have to keep that line. Maybe you like the line of how it looks. That's up to you. But it helps to have the line of the nose to kind of decipher how far apart and proportionate the eyes need to be. Now, is this the greatest example of drawing? No, I'm not the best teacher, but... And then you just draw the bottom of the eyes in. But this line, see, this eye is slightly longer. This eye right here is slightly longer because we now flipped the face. It's the same shape. The head is tilted at the same exact angle for the most part. It's the same base. We're just moving the face around. And maybe this one a little bit more thoughtful. You can have them looking over here. You could also, if they're going to be a little bit more sad or a little bit, you can draw in, remember how I talked about seriousness. More serious eyes, it's a little bit more flat around top, a little bit more droopy. You can bring them down a little bit on top. So you just like kind of flattening them out on top really changed up the expression a lot. And then you add in the top. You put your eyebrows in. And then your ear details. And I'm not even drawing much detail in the ears because it doesn't really need that much detail because you're not really looking close at it, and a lot of times it could be covered up by hair. So see, everything's kind of in the same place. Maybe he's not happy that he's bald, you know? I don't know his story. But just by changing up the eye shape, you can keep the same base. But just by changing the positioning of the lines, like see, even these lines right here across the face, they're the same. This middle line depends, this shapes on where your character is looking. So now he's looking this way.